Hello there, Darin Steen here from FatLossLifestyle.com. Here today with fellow WNBF Pro Darren Haag. Darin,
hey,
welcome. Darin's 35 years old. He's been in 2 WNBF contests, right?
Yep.
Your first show was when?
Last July, the Mid-America. I got 4th in the heavyweights.
4th in the heavyweights in the Mid-America in the WNBF, one of, if not the number one professional drug-free organization in the world. Yep. And then the second contest was?
The Worlds in New York City in November.
The Worlds, which is always the most competitive show of the year, where the best pros in the world go because it's the most prize money, and you place 9th?
9th or 10th in the heavyweights.
9th and 10 out of the heavyweights. How many heavyweights were there?
I think there was 10.
10? So
yeah.
That's nothing to sneeze at, because I did the Worlds one year, about 6-7 years ago, and I placed like 8 out of 14 guys. So, but anyway, there's been a few people that have said Darin Haag, not Steen, has some of the best wheels, legs, hamstrings, quads in the business, and I would absolutely agree with that after seeing him today here in my studio. We're going to pause a little bit here because Darin's 15 weeks out from his next show.
Yep.
I'm 14 weeks out from my first show in 4 years. I'm real excited to make a comeback. I'm a little leery to compare myself next to Darin because he's much leaner than me, but it's going to give me incentive to get my butt going, and I'm real excited about it. Couple questions to help our followers out there. Darin, 3 areas that are always important is the mind, is the food, and the exercise. So can you give the followers a tip in the mind part? You were talking something earlier about visualizing or imagining your physique, or just give them some mind tips. One good mind tip.
Just to visualize what you want to accomplish. You can't achieve any more than you can believe. So set your goals high and work hard to reach those goals.
I firmly agree with that. You have to believe it in your gut, even though you don't see it physically. You have to see it in your mind. You have to believe that you can do it.
Right.
So you got to work on some strategy that helps you believe that you can be a pro bodybuilder, you can lose 3 inches off the waist, get your body fat percentage down to 5%. It starts with the belief first, and the mind's really the most powerful aspect, I believe, because once you believe it, it comes a lot faster. So give the followers a more specific tip in nutrition. What allows you to get your body fat level down to 4% and show ripped abs to get ready for a show, nutrition-wise?
I eat every at least 2 hours, probably 10 meals a day, 30 to 35 grams of protein at each meal, carbohydrates about 400 grams a day, which more in the morning, and I taper them off throughout the day.
Makes a lot of sense to me. What's some of your favorite sources of protein?
Protein, venison, eggs, turkey, salmon, some whey powder.
Now, when you say 400 grams of carbohydrates, you're talking starchy carbohydrates. You're not talking vegetables type stuff.
I add up all my carbs.
But essentially salads and vegetables are pretty
low in carbs, so a lot of oatmeal.
Oatmeal?
Ezekiel bread.
Ezekiel bread.
Fruits, bananas, blueberries, and that's, the main staple, I guess.
Awesome. I agree with a lot of stuff he's talking about. You have to consider Darin's an ectomorph. He was very thin as a kid growing up, so he might have to eat a little bit more carbs than maybe an endomorph or a mesomorph. It's a little bit on the high end for some people, but I agree with a lot of stuff that you're talking about on the nutrition stuff. But it's no magic bullet. It's pretty much common sense.
Consistency, right? Too, is the key. Day in and day out. It's easier to take, a step back than to take a step forward. So it's day in and day out. The consistency, I think, is the key.
Excellent. So there's a tip in the mindset. There's a tip in nutrition. How about training? Give us a simple tip in weight training.
One muscle group a day, for instance, one day chest, the next day legs, the next day back. You don't want to do too much in one day. And basic and abbreviated is best.
What do you mean by basic? Heavy?
Heavy basic exercise, bench press, flies, pull-ups,
Great. All right, how about now for exercise, cardiovascular exercise?
I like to bike, mountain bike. I like to get outdoors and do biking in the summer, cross-country skiing in the winter.
How about the weeks leading up to your show, which is 15 weeks away? Let's say 6 weeks out. Will you do any cardio to get ready for your show?
Yeah, not a lot of cardio. Being an ectomorph, I'm naturally lean, so it's easy for me to get lean, harder to build muscle. So I maybe do 3 or 4 days of cardio, and then it's more high intensity, interval training. rather than long, hour-long sessions.
Excellent. All right, so your show's in 15 weeks. It's a WNBF show. What's the name of the show? Where's it at?
It's a Southern Natural in
Texas?
Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. That's great. That's a week after my show. Can you give us a prediction? What would you like to place?
Well, I got 4th in my first pro show last year, and my goal is to get the top 3 this time around.
Top 3?
Yeah.
All right. Good
right.
luck. We'll follow it. We'll let the followers know how you do. This is the first time I've competed in 4 years. I had a rough 3 months. I just got back into training. Body's changing pretty fast. But I'm pretty prideful. Again, I'd like to place in the top 3 as well.
All right.
All right. All right, let's do a little bit of posing. All right, here we go. Let's just do a front relaxed. Don't look at his legs. All right. 3. All right, let's hit a front double bicep. 3, 2, and relax. Good. All right, let's do a front lat spread.
All right.
Let's do hands on hip, most muscular.
All right.
Abs look good. 3, 2, 8, and relax. Good. You're tearing me up from the front side, Darren. All right. Let's go quarter turn to the right.
All right.
Side chest pose. 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Side tricep. Relax. All right, now where I finally wanted to get him to, quarter turn to the right.